All right, Cancers, welcome into your monthly reading. This is for August 2025. So we're kind of wrapping up what I consider true summer here in the Northern Hemisphere. I guess I'm in the north of the U.S., so definitely wrapping up the last month of summer. Kids go back to school in September, and just this, the weather here can be a little iffy. I mean, it's mostly warm, but it can kind of start cooling down in September. So I'm doing an ocean theme in kind of honor of August. So all the cards are ocean, kind of mermaid theme. Another thing for you guys I'm doing this month, so I got all these chakra candles. I really love them. Here's kind of an example. This is the heart chakra candle. And I'm intuitively kind of picking up for each zodiac sign what chakra needs extra focus for you, whether it's clearing, integration, if there's blocks. So for Cancers, this is the root chakra candle, and the candle says money, but really, the root chakra is kind of our groundedness into the physical reality. It also is an expression of our desires and our passions, and really that is the source of a lot of our creative energy, which the source of the physical is creation. Right? We harness energy from higher dimensions first, from within us first, and then it manifests out. So it's really an important chakra, especially with us grounding in this reality. And what kind of I was picking up on for you guys was there's kind of some blocks around expression of your desires and passions. And that can be anywhere on the spectrum, from sexual desires and passions to just creative, anything in life. What are you passionate about? What do you desire in your life? Using the energy to kind of harness your creativity. So I do feel like there's a little bit of block or repression of your natural, innate, authentic needs and desires as an individual person. And those are going to vary per person, right? I feel like you really, Cancers in general, have repressed a lot of that. Cancers is like the mother sign of the zodiac, and really has a focus on home and family and connection. To sometimes at a detriment is you probably put yourself kind of at the bottom of the priority list over, let's say, family or relationships or what other people need or want. And I think it's a time for you to really figure out what you are, who you are, what do you want to experience, what do you want to do, how do you feel. And this is a month of real expression of that, is putting yourself out there, and I'm saying putting your true self out there. And courage is really, I heard this saying, I saw it online or somewhere, but it said courage shows up as fear. So in those moments where it's asking for you to be courageous, it's gonna trigger you. There's gonna be some fear there, because it's asking you to face a situation that, maybe you have inner conflict about. Maybe you're afraid of what people are going to think or say. Maybe it's you needing to set boundaries or stand up for yourself, or put yourself out there in a way that maybe, again, there's some self-confidence issues. So I do feel like that all of that is kind of something you need to hear for August. That's definitely been a theme in the readings for all the signs. Two of the cards that keep coming up is the Ace of Swords and the Five of Wands. And the Ace of Swords is really about, again, truth, authenticity, alignment, information coming in, clarity, I think I said. And it can be about expressing your truth, like whether something you need to really communicate. It can be about the truth coming out, like facing reality, or just aligning and getting clarity. Maybe if you felt confused in general in life, or just confused around a situation. And then the Five of Wands is about conflict and competition. So all of that's going to kind of bubble up. And if there's any like bubbling under the surface, like misalignment with people, situations, jobs, I mean, you're going to start to see it, because it's showing us where things, again, aren't aligned. It's showing us maybe situations or people in our life that maybe, again, aren't for our best and highest good anymore, or when we have to actually make a big change. Because usually if we need to make a big change, you're going to start to really feel that misalignment, and it's not going to align with your truth, your desires, your wants. Maybe the values are going to change, and that's a sign of, okay, I need to face the reality of this, and what action or what decision are you going to do about it? How are you going to approach it? And so those are going to be your two themes for August. And we are in Leo season, so it is a fire sign, which fire aligns with, again, creativity, passions. So the themes for the month is courage, creativity, and fun. Those are your three themes. So I've been channeling on my own. I really feel like this is a time, when we look at the season of summer, August really represents kind of the height of summer. So you reach the height of abundance. It's like the peak of nature. Everything's bloomed. It's kind of been in its fullest form, right? It's realized its fullest growth expansion form. Also, it's the start of harvest. So this is a time to reap the rewards of your harvest or your hard work, which means it's time to rest. It's time to sit back and enjoy and have fun. And instead of focusing on production or work or serious things, it's like, how can we just create? How can we use just like fun and our inspiration coming through to create, whether it's just doing some art projects, building something. Maybe you want to create a business. So it can show up as many different ways, but I do feel like this is a month to kind of just rest and relax, enjoy the fruits of your life before the fall comes and kind of we start transitioning into different seasons of just obviously the seasons of weather and nature, but also the seasons of our life and what each phase and season represents. Moving into fall, it's really about finishing up the harvest and getting ready for the time of real just rest and non-action, and almost that representation of inner death, of like we're being rebirthed and going through a death process and just needing to be slow and sit back, not being active. So those are the things I wanted to call out. If you are interested in a private reading, you can book one on my website, which is below in the description. So you can do that. If you have any issues or anything, there is an area on my website where you can submit questions or inquiries. You could also ask in the comments below as well. But yeah, let's get started, Cancers, for you. So we got disengage from outcomes. Let go so you can open yourself to the highest love that you deserve. Find ways to release worry or any unresolved lack of forgiveness you might be holding on to. So there's kind of a couple things here. You could have gone through a situation or be holding back some resentment, or maybe a situation that you've kind of still are holding on to some sort of anger, or it is talking about forgiveness here or unresolved situations. So obviously, probably in relationships, you might have some anxiety or overthinking about this, maybe you're in the mix of it and you're kind of worried or anxious about the outcome. And really, this is right. It says straight there, disengage from the outcome. So don't hold on to an outcome, or like hold on to like, this is how this has to, like, maybe you're holding on to a situation or a person and saying, oh, I can't lose this. But the more you hold on to with a death grip to whether it's a thing, a person, a job, or how this has to be, or like controlling how it unfolds, you kind of can create outcomes that aren't for your best and highest good and could lead to more suffering and challenges. So that's the key here. We live in a reality of free will. So sometimes if you just, that's where they say be careful what you wish for, because sometimes we really want something so bad, but what is motivating this want and this need? A lot of times it comes from a place of attachment or codependency or fear, or needing to feel safe, not wanting change. And, a lot of times the universe will, obviously without your knowing, consciously, but they'll say, okay, if this is what you really want, but again, that's not your highest path. So you have your highest path, which I like to say your highest path is the ultimate potentiality of the path that's aligned with ease, grace, bliss, happiness, love. Like, that's going to be your best path. That's like the path that your soul ultimately always wants to follow. And that's where we use our internal compass of our intuition, our higher self, our guides, to help us keep navigating on that higher path. But for most of the time, for most of us, right, that's just being in this reality. We're always going to be gunked up. Our compass is going to be gunked up by our traumas, our childhood programming, our belief systems, which are always programming, just all of the information that's being, pushed into us from the external, that most of it's not aligned with any sort of universal truth. It actually is the complete opposite. And so that's going to always gunk up our truth, our highest truth. And we can tell if it's our highest truth because it is, what it feels like is, it feels like ease. It feels like complete alignment. It feels like fulfillment. It feels like yes, like I've heard this, I don't remember who I heard this from, so I don't want to take their glory here, but I call it your full F yes, okay? Or your full fuck yes. When you align with something, you're going to feel it in your body and your soul, like, yes, this is a full fuck yes. Like, it's not just a yes, like, this is, yes, this is the person. This is total alignment. Usually you might, especially in relationships, obviously we go through relationships where we think there are full fuck yes, but how does it really feel? If it feels like more of, oh my God, attachment, fear, if there's fear or like conflict internally, but yet you can't let go, that's usually a sign it's not, this person isn't aligned to your higher path. So I'm going to I could, for some reason, Cancer, I could go on and on about this. So I definitely feel like there is a situation that is not in alignment with you. And I feel like it's definitely causing a lot of worry or anxiety. And you're trying to hold on to it. But I feel like there's a reason you have to kind of let go and surrender and ask. Here's the key. Ask, put out the intention, ask your higher self, higher guides, whoever. Say, what's in my highest and best good? I fully intend for the highest and best outcome to unfold that's in the best and highest interest of myself and everyone involved. And then you have to let go. And don't try and force controlling it. And that's when, if you fully trust in the universe, in God or whoever, that will happen and unfold for you. And that could mean a situation might have to end. It could mean a change has to happen. And you might be uncomfortable in that, but that's where the courage comes in. All right, 2 more here, oracles. So we have whales. Look at this. So we have kind of a theme here, orcas, whales. Tap into your inner wisdom and navigate life's depths with grace and majesty. And then lost civilization. Find inspiration and collective vision and let the synergy of community guide your path. So there is some sort of wisdom coming in, or messages, I feel, that's going to help you navigate this, like with ease and grace again. Again, there needs to be some surrendering, but also really listening to your intuition and following it. If you're feeling resistance to something, to like a decision or a person, tap in, and if there's resistance to a decision, don't make that decision. Okay? When you know what the right decision for you is, it's going to feel like, yes, this is in full alignment. This is what I want. And there's something here about, like, what's your vision here of the future? What's your vision of not just this person, or I want this job, or it's about how do you want to feel? What's your vision and how does it feel? That's the key. That's the key to creation and manifestation, is more around what do I want to feel? Because you could envision a person, but if that person, if you feel anxiety, obviously that's not a good outcome that you want. So the first card out is the 2 of Wands. So I do feel like there's a new, you're being called to go in a new direction in some aspect of your life. This could also mean that you have to make a decision about this. And there is definitely some fear and anxiety, like you're standing, you feel it, you're at this new pathway or new doorway of a potential new path in your life. And I definitely feel like that's what's giving you anxiety here. So you have the Queen of Coral, another Queen of Pentacles, a King of Swords, and then a Magician here. Oh my gosh, I have to, King of Coral and then the World. So, okay, there's a lot here. It's almost like there's a lot of people, there's a lot of hands in the pot. And now I see where this says, find inspiration in collective vision. So there's something about a community or collective of people, whether it's people has some sort of say in this new path or decision. Maybe this will impact a lot of people. Maybe this is like a business thing or a work thing. But this could also partly, I do feel like there's multiple people here, but I also feel like, I think you're a bit conflicted about what's leading your decisions, whether it's what's logical, what makes sense based on, like I said, logic, what makes sense more about intellect. But there's also, what is this, the King of Corals, about passions and desires. So it's like, what are you leading your manifestation with? Is it just like what's logical, or are you going to lead with what you're passionate about, what your heart is calling for you? So I definitely feel like there's some conflict internally on what's helping you to decide something in your life. And there could be a relationship at play too that's also, putting their 2 cents into this. But what I'm feeling like, Cancer, is the ultimate here is the King of Coral is the last to come out, and I feel like you have to lead with your heart. What is your truest heart desire? What is your passion calling out to? And I think it's going to require some sort of big change, or like ending something to begin something new that you're more passionate about. but I feel like you're definitely finding the power within yourself. I think you're learning about, this could be something where you've always led with your comfort zone or with what other people wanted you to do. But I feel a big shift within you where you're starting to really yearn for things in your life that trigger more passion, things that you really are in alignment with finally in your life, like things you want to express, things that you love to do. And that's where the world comes in. I think there is going to be some major endings and beginnings here. And it's just finding the courage. I mean, I think really you are the king or you're the queen. So you can flip-flop here. But I feel like the masculine energy is the energy of action. They're the source of taking the feminine energy of the intuition and the ideas and the energy and applying that to actually then manifest physicality. So I think that's where this this strong masculine energy comes in. And even on the Magician card here, you see a masculine figure, which again, the Magician is about manifesting. It's like manifesting something out of nothing and then manifesting something physical, right? The rabbit out of the hat, which is a metaphor of the kind of connection between the non-physical and the physical, and how we use the energy, which we can't see, to manifest something physically. All right, I'm back quick. Phone was ringing. Okay, let's continue. I'm probably going to clarify some of these. You have so many of these court people showing up, so we'll clarify more. But, ooh, the Empress too. Interesting. Empress, Page of Cups, and the Three of Pentacles. For some reason, I'm guided to pull the next line first before I kind of read it. So we have the Hermit, Seven of Wands, Ace of Cups. So the first thing I notice here is these two cards. They both are kind of holding this pearl, which in this deck, the pearl, like the actual pearl cards, represent cups. The Hermit, though, he's also holding a pearl, but the Hermit represents kind of this, he's always, usually in the standard deck, tarot decks, the Hermit's holding this like lantern with this huge, almost like star that's within it, and it kind of represents kind of enlightenment, spiritual wisdom. So I do feel like there's something here around something important here. There's an important focus on, like, for one, I'm feeling emotional fulfillment here. I feel like you're also really, the Empress represents fertility, and like a lot of times when the Empress shows up, it feels like it could also mean like you're about to birth something new. You're on the verge of something really big that's new in your life, and I kind of am picking up on that. I do feel like there's a lot of people that have opinions about this or want to kind of influence you, and I feel like this is a time where you need to do you. And what I want you to know, Cancer, is whatever is in your best good, that's really truly in alignment with your true heart's desire, is going to be the best thing for everyone. Whether that means that even if some people are going to be disappointed, and maybe some people think they know, but ultimately when people think and try and push their agenda on you, that means they're not coming from a place of authenticity. They're coming from a place of misalignment. Because when someone's in true alignment, They're going to allow you to, they understand that you are your own independent being with your own path, with your own desires and needs, and they're going to support you in you choosing what's right for you. And they're not going to try and sway you. So I think that's a lesson here. But this could also mean that you're really this Empress and you're leveling up. You're really birthing something new. But I feel like kind of this Page of Cups is saying that you're almost trying to accommodate other people. You're trying to offer and make decisions and that everyone is going to be okay with. But I think ultimately here with the Three of Pentacles too, it's like you're trying to collaborate and make sure everyone's bought in, and that, you know, whatever you're doing is going to be a good foundation decision for, maybe this could be family, this could be partnerships. But ultimately, I think you're holding a lot back with the Hermit. The Hermit can represent kind of not speaking or being quiet. You're kind of on a hermit's path right now of really doing some inner feeling, like, what do I want to do? And maybe you're not really saying that to other people, because other people, obviously, it's picking up that they have their own view of what they think you should do. But there's also here the Seven of Cups, I feel like, or Coral, which is Wands. I feel like you kind of need to stand your ground here. I think you need to set some boundaries and really stand up for yourself and what you want and what you're valuing and how you want to move forward in your life. And I think there's this Ace of Pentacles, or sorry, this is Cups. I keep mixing that up. Ace of Cups. I think there's an opportunity for you to kind of, this is a new beginning that's going to be very emotionally fulfilling for you. There's a lot of emotions being felt right now. And I think this is positive for you. But, you know, Cancers are water signs, so you definitely know the emotional space. So let's get the last line here. We have the Two of Swords. Yeah, definitely. I think you're definitely not wanting to, you're kind of blocking yourself off. Like, you don't want to hear what other people have to say. Like, the Two of Swords too is about like sitting and really listening and going inside. Same with the Hermit. So I think you're really processing whatever decision you need to make or direction you're going to go in kind of on your own. You could also be, this could be the recent past where you also feel like you're not sure of what direction to go in. But I think you're going to figure this out as the month goes on. So we have the Four of Pentacles here. And the Devil. Okay. So this is just a bit of caution here. This to me too, there's two things. This Devil showing up is kind of like, feel the fear and do it anyways, I'm getting, because the Devil can represent fear. So feel the fear and do it anyways. And like I said early in the reading, courage really shows up as fear. So I do feel like this is going to take some courage and confidence, whether it's making this decision, standing up to people that maybe want all these different things from you. Also, I feel like this Four of Pentacles, you've been kind of holding on to something or someone, or staying in a comfort zone for too long. This kind of too is about getting out of your comfort zone and standing your ground, putting boundaries up, telling people. I think there's a lot of people who want different things from you, and it's all over the place, and it's kind of like they want to stretch you in 5 different directions. But you're leveling up here to the Empress energy. And again, it's not about gender. That could mean, you know, if you're male or female, you're leveling up and you're birthing something new. So I feel like August is a time for you to get off the fence, make some decisions, start taking actionable steps. That's doing something in it, like in something new, beginning some new direction. But I think it is the devil that's been holding you back, this fear. And just be careful you don't make another karmic decision. Because when you make a decision that's not in your best good, or one that really aligns with you, that's karmic energy, and it ends up creating karmic consequences, right? That impact you, but everyone involved. And I think all these people don't realize that, but I think you're starting to spiritually level up. You're getting more conscious awareness of yourself and of just how life, the universe works. So let's see. Let's talk to these people. What's up with the two queens here? I'm going to get one for each. So the Queen of Wands, the Ten of Cups. Maybe this is about, you know, picking a love interest. Maybe there's a couple options here. Ten of Pearls, the Queen of Pentacles, Five of Pearls. So this is like, so with these two queens, like one of these queens is the Ten of Cups. So this is like the ultimate, this is the highest path, this person. So if this is about love and choosing somebody, I feel like this Queen of Wands could be a fire sign, which is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius energies. It could also just be someone that you're really getting pulled to, like you're passionate about this person. They're obviously probably very attractive to you in some sense, but I think you align more from a soul level with this person, and this person is going to have your best interests at play here, and this is going to be your highest path. This other Queen of Pentacles, she seems more of like the logical choice from a physical perspective. Like she maybe looks more on paper great, more of like on paper from like, oh, when you think of like our dogmas, our programs about, oh, this is what a spouse should be or something. But there's a lot of grief. There's a lot of sad, like this is regrets. So this, if you go down this path, this could be a path of regret. This could lead to a lot of suffering. And I ultimately think if this is a choice in love, this Queen of Pentacles is, you're going to regret and feel, it's going to create a lot of karmic loss in your life going down this direction. But also, too, I could feel like if this is just people in your life, like family, whatever, friends, spouse, this could represent multiple people. I feel like someone's really like being motivated by their own, like I said, misalignment. Maybe they've gone through loss in the past, and so they're trying to hold on to you or wanting you to make decisions that kind of, again, support their comfort zone. Where this other person is really supporting you in a sense from your dreams and desires and what your higher path is. So read this how you may, how these two people, but there's definitely two different people here. Let's see with these kings. So the King of Swords, the Fool, and the King of Wands, Page of Pentacles. It's interesting because I almost feel like I heard this king, and it's almost like this could be a part of you that's, interestingly, the Fool's to me is always a good card. But this king said I could hear him say, don't be a fool. Don't, you know, it's like Fool's version, don't be a fool. But I feel like he's being guided again from a place of logic. So he doesn't understand what it means to make a decision based on your heart. Like, so I almost feel like I said earlier, there's something around choosing out of logic or choosing out of a place of your heart and passion. The Page of Pentacles here, I feel like this aspect of yourself sees the potential and the value in this new path. He sees the value in, for one, himself, but also there's some lesson here. There is some lesson, and are you going to see the value in yourself enough to make the choice that's best for you, is also what I'm getting. Okay. Let's see. Anything else? What's the devil about? The Hierophant. Yeah. It's almost like the devil's in the old. Like, this is about traditional. So I think it's, again, warning, a cautionary tale of, like, you need to step out of the traditional, like, and also the programming. Like, this is fear programming. Like, this, to me, these two together, it's like following, this is almost like following the religious rules, like following your religion to a fault. And that's creating a lot of karma, because what I consider just in general religious rules and regulations are all based on control and power and greed. So this is like what people tell you need to do, or telling you how you need to live your life. This could also be committing to something that is definitely very karmic. So I would be careful if you're trying to commit to something or someone, that you're going to feel this. Okay, if you're choosing between people, you're going to know which one is karmic. Also, I want to warn, just because if this is someone you're married to, I feel like it's saying the marriage right now, if you're in a marriage, is karmic. That's the devil here. This is a relationship that you've bound yourself to that's very karmic. It's definitely was never your highest path, and probably not something you should have committed to. For some of you, that's, if you're in a marriage and you're trying to decide about staying, you need to listen to your heart, not your fear or your comfortability, or, you know, what else? Anything else before we go? So what's the ultimate decision here? There's definitely a conflict of the decision. I definitely feel there's a conflict between you, what you want, and what other people want. That's definitely apparent here. Six of Coral, which is the wands again. Look at all these wands. This is definitely, there's a lot of passion involved in this decision, or beginning, or moving down a new path. I'm picking up too, like, you don't want to be shunned by the community. Like, in this, the Six of Wands can be about, like, being seen, being liked, being, like, and with the conflict card and competition here, it's almost like, don't make a decision based on, like, again, fulfilling what everyone else wants from you. Just because you want to be liked, or you don't want to be shunned, or you don't want to be disconnected, especially as a Cancer. Like, Cancers are really focused and motivated on connection. But again, I think we need to start stepping out of the community or family that has created this propaganda or this traditional rules that you need to follow, and do what's right for you. And that's where you're going to overcome this. And lastly, I just want to, what's the World card? Page of Coral, Page of Wands. So we have all the pages except the Page of Wands, or sorry, of Swords. So there is a new beginning, a passionate new beginning, that you're stepping on this new path as a page. This is definitely out of your comfort zone. I definitely feel like, you know, you're going to have your sea legs, right? This is something that you haven't done before. Maybe it's something you need to learn. You need to educate yourself, or just like gain your confidence in this new decision, in this new path. Yeah, look at that ace. Yeah, this is a very passionate path. Like, this is going to be a path of passion, new beginnings that are very passionate for you. I think you're going to create a lot. And this is definitely, whatever this ending and new beginning in, is going to be really great for you. But in the beginning, it's going to be, you're not going to have a lot of confidence, but that's okay. I feel like this is definitely out of your comfort zone, and a very new thing for you. But there's a lot of youthful energy here. Like, it's almost like it's going to make you feel young again. You're almost going to have energy too that you're surprised that you didn't have before. It's going to energize you. All right, I've probably been going on a while here. So Cancers, hope this helped. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If this totally did not hit the mark at all for you, take a look at your other sign, your sun, moon, rising, or Venus. There's definitely something there for you. If you're, this does have relationship, this can be fit into, if you're, looking at relationship guidance or information. There's definitely something about relationship here. But check out your Venus sign, because that's going to be more around relationship, love. Other than that, let me know how you're doing in the comments. Like and subscribe before you head out. Only takes a second, not even. But sending good energy, sending some help to clear your base chakra. But otherwise, I will see you in the next reading. Bye for now.